Hello there. Did you know that there's a huge difference between sympathy and empathy? Yes. Now, I was given this metaphor when I was learning NLP, and that is if you see someone drowning in a puddle, for example. Now, if you were going to sympathize with that person, you're going to walk up to that puddle and then jump into that puddle. And you're going to feel the same exact pain and suffering that that person's feeling. But you're actually going to be no longer helpful for that person to get out of that puddle because you've pulled yourself down into the very pain and suffering they're experiencing. Now, empathy is different. Someone who has empathy will go up to that puddle, and rather than jumping into that puddle, they will put their hand out and help this person to navigate out of this puddle. You become the navigator, helping them to captain their own ship, so to speak. So you stay in your position of power outside of the puddle without being pulled into the pain and suffering that this person is going through. Now, we've been taught in our culture, in our society, in our world, that it's a noble thing to jump in the puddle with others and feel their pain and suffering. This is not true. This is part of the illusion. Ideally, we want to stay in our position of communion with Source in every moment we can. This is outside of time and space. This is outside of this three-dimensional plane of polarity where we have pain and suffering. This is in the unified field. We want to become so good at standing in our position with Source, with Spirit. Now, when we sympathize, we don't stay in that position. We jump out of it and we come down into a low vibration, low frequency. And we are not standing in our power when we get down there. We step out of love, we step out of peace, we step out of bliss, and we're no longer as effective for ourselves or others. So essentially, sympathizing is not healthy, not at all. A powerful empathy is required. And empathy is not being triggered by your own traumas and feeling all the pain and suffering of someone in need. That's not empathy, that's unhealthy. Empathy is staying connected to Source and being fed the perfect guidance, intuition, and wisdom to help that person remaining in that position of power in the unified field. So I think that's as clear as I can make it. Massive difference between empathy and sympathy. And I think it's really important to practice this, especially at this time in the world. There's a lot of people suffering. And for those with big hearts who used to wear them on their sleeves, we need to see that. We need to take inspired action to help these people, not from a position of being triggered by our own traumas and our hearts bleeding. No. So we transform those around us when we remain in the unified field, connected to Spirit. We are the most powerful and effective in that position. And we don't even need to go out into the world sometimes. Just doing that in the space of our own home, we are transforming the energy of our world around us. So if you really want to be effective and empathize and share a common passion or compassion with others, then just start to recognize when you are defaulting into old patterns of having sympathy instead of empathy. And you'll find that this is quite powerful in your life. You'll stay more steady in your position of that toroidal field of love connected to Source. It's absolutely beautiful. And you can feel for others, but just with that common passion that you know that they are also beings of love who need assistance. So if you like this message, please like this video, please share, please comment, and have a beautiful day. See ya.